Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to my podcast. And this podcast is about speaking the truth to the power and the center of the voice of our community. And I'm Clayton Arna. I'm your host. And today, and I just need you to understand that what this subject is about is something that we need to be aware of. And we're going to dive into a crisis. And sometimes it's visible and it's invisible. It depends on who's looking at this particular thing. We talk about Black homeless and housing discrimination in America. And some of y'all is going to deny it, but I'm going to say this. The cause and the effect of why Black peoples are suffering is because how they've been discriminated and how they continue to be discriminated by the white supremacists. Now, we're going to talk real talk, but let's be real about it. It's visible and it's invisible. These can just be policy failure. When you look at the overall, it's because it's homeless and all these housing discrimination. It is because the system have failed the Black America. Now, we can accept it or don't accept it, but the real deal is that when are we going to look beyond? When we're going to drop our guards down and admit Black peoples have been mistreated throughout our generation, and now it's you people that really don't want to see it. Is because when you create and you build a fire, and then you're gonna run behind it like you don't know nothing about it. I hope you understand where I'm going with this. And they reflect on systematic neglect. This is the way the system is designed to neglect these minority people. And the cause and the effect, you got to go back and look at history, is how the system is stacked against us. Racial bias, economic injustice. And if you don't know this, in 2025, I just need you to be aware of this. The numbers are louder than ever because of this deranged administration. Their main objective is to put Black people on their back. If they can make them suffer, this is the main objective of this dysfunctional president that we are dealing with. I just need you to be aware of what is going on in America, the state of Black homelessness. And okay, we're not talking about, let's talk about facts. All you got to do is do your research. The facts in 2024, over 771,000 people was homeless in the United States. 771,000 in the United States. An 18% increase from the previous year. Why are these numbers increasing? Because the system of injustice and the way the system is designed to make Black people suffer. Admit it. And of those, nearly 228,000 were Black. That is about 29% of the population, the homeless population in America. Even though Black America makes up only about 13% of the U.S. population, don't you feel that there is something wrong with the system and justice and the reason why things are the way they are? And I just want you to understand these numbers that I just gave you, they're not only statistic, they are just facts. They represent families and veterans and youth, peoples who have been pushed to the margin by the system that was never built to protect them. I'm going to say to America, we at our lowest point under the authority of a white supremacist running this country. Accept it or reject it. Things are getting worse and worse by the day under a deranged administration. And black youth, let's talk about 83% of the black youth are most likely to experience homelessness than their white peers. Why? That's the question. Why? Why is their percentage much higher than the white? Because the white people gonna always look at white, either they real poor or they goes in the same category of the blacks. Now you want to talk real talk, let's talk about it. And among homeless veterans, think about this. Homeless veteran, 31% is black. Why? We don't want to talk about that. But why not talk about it? These disparities are not accidental. They were designed for a purpose by the system of injustice. They are structural. But when are we going to admit our problem in America is not black people? Our problem in America is white supremacy. Wants to be able to control, to manipulate. As long as they feel that they can put a black man on his back or minority people on his back, that's their main objective. So when we're talking about housing discrimination, let's talk about that. You got a president refuse to rent to black people. It's to show you, even at the top, racism is a sickness until these people die. We talk about past and present. Housing discrimination is just a release of the past. It's alive and well in the 2025. Black homeowners sit at 46.4% compared to 65.7% in the nation. Do you see what's happening? Why? The question is why? It's because we are being treated as second-class citizens. We are supposed to be inferior, and because the way the system is designed to make the white people superior. Let's talk real talk. You might not want to hear it. There is things that's visible and invisible. See, sometimes people don't want to see things when they know it's right there in front of their eyes. It is so obvious the cause and effect of why black people are suffering, because the way the system is designed. Now, I just need you, black families are most likely to be denied mortgage. Why? Why are we going to be denied mortgage? You're only going to give those mortgages to the white people. Or for worse, long term, they're going to charge you a high percentage rate over the white counterpart, and live in a neighborhood where homes are undervalued, appraisals, buyers continue to rob black homeowners. You see how the system works? We are surrounded with injustice. Racism is right there in front of us. And this is why things are the way they are, because the way the system is designed is to make the rich get richer and to make the poor get poor. Now, that is about real talk. And let's not forget the legacies of redlining. Do you understand the legacy of redlining? Those maps may be gone, but the impact remained the same. How they setting up different districts to control the minds of minority, because they feel white people, this world is for white people. We're going to talk real talk, but a lot of people don't want to admit it. When I say redlining, those maps may be done to impact remain. An unfunded schools environment, hazard and generalization of property. People, do you understand what is going on? We would not be in the condition that we are in if we understand how the system is stacked against us. But we can fight, stand up for what we believe in. We cannot allow a form of fear, a form of intimidation to hold us back. You stand up for what you believe in, stop falling for anything. I mean, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the income inequality, and the wealth gap. The rich get richer off the black people, admit it. But you treating us like dirt, admit it. I mean, the median income for black households is about $56,400 a year, compared to $89,500 for white people. I mean, that's not a problem. The poverty rate for black families is about 17%. Think about it, 17%, and unemployment remains nearly double that of white people. Can we see what's going on in America? Can we understand the cause and the effect as to why things are the way they are? Is because the system is designed to keep black people at a lower level. Unless we stand up for our freedom and begin to realize how they are using us to gain wealth. You must understand, don't be caught blindsided. When it comes to wealth, let's talk about that. Come to wealth. The gap is even wider. The median wealth for black families is about $24,000 a year. And the white compare $188,000 a year. Can you see the gap between each, how the system is designed to keep black people at a lower level? Are we going to admit it? Are we going to deny it? I mean, most racist people would say these black people are just making up all kind of stuff. They know in their heart that we are being treated and has been treated for many years like dirt. Put your guards down and put yourself in our position. Let us change sides. How would you feel if that was a black supremacist that's running this country? You white people you're gonna come with all kind of stuff, but you don't see what the white people are doing to the black people. It's making them suffer. Now let's talk about real talk. I got friends out there in every race. They know that I'm about being real. I don't fabricate anything. I mean, let's talk about the disparity between educational gap, the housing, and the health care, and they fuels the cycle of homeless, because a lot of people cannot afford health care. The education program is being taken away. Anything that got something to do with black people are being dismantled under this deranged president. And people must admit, the man has a mild case of retardation. He's not physical able to run this country because of his mindset. He don't think about things, he just react. I'm gonna get into something I want the American to be aware of. When you're talking about all these income inequality, limited access to housing, you got to understand, when black people go and apply for housing, they're gonna get they got to pay a higher interest rate, the house value. It's right there in your face. These loan companies are racist. They know how to play the game to make you suffer and not to put you in certain neighborhoods because your income don't fit that particular neighborhood. People's discrimination It's all around us. All you got to do is open your eyes up. When I say how discrimination blocks wealth building, today they form the feedback loops of disadvantage and disproportionate affects Black people. They make sure that many Black people cannot move into their neighborhood because they feel they can't afford it. It's a way that white people try to manipulate the mind of Black people and think that we're supposed to be stupid and we supposed to be dumb and we don't know what's going on. I'm going to say this with my heart. The biggest problem that we have in the United States is white supremacists, the white billionaires. We got a president refused to rent to Black people. He always downgrading Black people. This is a person that's supposed to represent America. And what he's doing, he's trying to change America to make it an all-white world. People, let's wake up and look at how they are making Black people suffer. You might not want to accept it. I can care less whether you accept it or you can reject it. I mean, when I say, and the policy shifts, it depends on what color you are. That depends on how the policy shifts. They write laws to protect white people. They got write laws that is against Black people. Peoples, are you going to wake up and see how the system of injustice is designed to do? It's like those proposed under, let's talk about Project 2025. But you got a pathologic liar running the White House and denied that he know anything about Project, and his name is all over. But you understand, when you have a con artist, a pathologic liar that manipulates the mega followers, we need to understand evenness is all around us because of a deranged administration accepting and controlling housing program can prove to state with history of racial inclusion. That is a dangerous step forward. What can we do? We talking about this. What can we do as Black America? That's the question that need to be answered and be real. So what we can do with this knowledge, we organize and we educate and we advocate. We stand up against these white supremacists. Don't be afraid. This is the objective, is to make Black people suffer as much as they could. Not all white people feel the same, but those under the authority, under the red state, they think like President Trump. They're going to do what he say. Hey, write legislation that's going to make it hard. That's right, voting. That's right, voting laws. That's how we can cover the district. These are about the mindset of a deranged president is trying to get his foot in the door. And he got all these followers. Supreme Court. They are not there for protect the America. They there to protect President Trump. Those the one who he elected in, they're going to protect him. Who are we going to put our trust in? If you can't put our trust in the Supreme Court, who are you going to put your trust in? Because they is about as crooked than the person that's running this country. I'm talking about, when I say to you, you know, we got to support fair housing legislation. Go in there and have a voice. Demand accountability in lending and appraisal value. Invest in Black-owned business and housing cooperation. Do not allow the white supremacy to manipulate and control your life. This is their main objective, is to put you down on your back. But I need you to remember one thing. When we as Black people, when we get knocked down, we're going to land on our back, because I believe that if we can look up, we're going to get up and fight back. These are facts. You've been trying to destroy the black race for centuries. Things them change. Things must change in order to live in a great America. And the most important, listen to those directly that is impact. Their stories and the blueprint for changes. This is how we got to stand up and fight against this inequality. And black homeless and housing discrimination are not inedible. They are the results of choices, policy choices, economic choices, and social choices. I mean, when we look at these things, but we can choose differently. We can choose justice over injustice. We stand up for what we believe in and stop allowing this white supremacy to use fear and intimidation to control our mind. And I'm talking about, I want to thank you for joining in with me today. If this episode moves you, well, I want you to share this story. Let's start a conversation and keep showing up for equity, dignity in our community. If we learn to stick together, work together, pray together, we can make it. But we cannot be intimidated by a form of fear. That's the way this white America is doing us. Look how they're treating us. The main objective is to get as many black people out of this country, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen. America, you think I'm fabricating? You think I'm telling the truth? If you put your guard down and look around us, we can see what is happening. America is at its worst since President Trump have got into office. He's showing his true colors. He's showing the thing that he lied about. I don't know nothing about Project 2025 when his name is all over. I'm saying to you, America, look what we're dealing with. Anytime you take brown Mexican out of the United States and you bring in white South Africa and paying all of their way through that you don't know nothing about and saying that these white people are being discriminated by black people. There is no history. This is a way that this person, President Trump, is trying to manipulate. And I want to make you be aware of one thing. America, open your eyes up. Do you think Washington, D.C. is about crime? No. It's about how Putin and Trump is communicating how to control the American people by establishing a strong military to protect Trump's ass. He liked the idea, we're going to make it federal. It's the White House. And then you got these dumbasses that Pete Hegseth and all his followers, yeah. Look, it got people's contacting Trump. Man, we can go out eat now. We have been out in 6 months, but we feel, do you understand what a pathologic liar will tell his followers in order to convince them without telling them the real truth as to why they are taking to Washington, D.C.? Trump supporters, are you aware is that ever since you don't hear about it, Trump got a price tag on his head? That's when he started making decisions about, let's go to the White House. Let's protect. He's working it just like Putin working. But I want America to be aware of one thing. As I said, I'm not a prophet, but I want you to understand this if you don't understand nothing else. When President Trump and Putin met each other, I said that before they met. They're going back to best friend. How do we know what was passed to President Putin in that limousine? How do we know that he did not give him a database for him to take back to Russia. Do you trust President Trump? This man is about business and money deal. Russia have intensified their bombing after meeting Trump. Y'all must understand, everything look real is not real. Everything shine is not gold. Trump and Putin exchanged some important information right in front of our eyes. And we put our trust. And President Trump pretend like, oh man, I want them to fight it out. That's not the objective. You're going to treat Ukraine like a little boy, and you're going to give Putin a red carpet. American, Omega people, do you understand that your leader, our leader, is selling us out every day because of money and power? And we're going to sit back, and we're supposed to believe all of this BS that this president is selling us. I'm talking about real talk. And again, if you can't see what's going on, America, are you ready for a civil war under the hands of a deranged president and his administration? These white red states, they write legislation. They telling their police, everything you do, whatever you want to do, we got your back. It's killing many black people, a minority, whatever you want to do. These red states under the authority of one man, President Trump. They cannot think independently on their own. They're only going to take orders under the authority of President Trump. And also, I know that it's just show you racism is right in our face. It has intensified under the hands of President Trump. I need you to be aware, and you don't hear nothing about this, how all these black peoples are coming up missing, how all these truck drivers are coming up missing. But when you catch them, most of the time they have been handed over to white people right in your neighborhood. Look at all these sting operations. Look how many kids they're saving. Everything have intensified under the authority of President Trump. Crimes have increased. Prices has increased. But everybody think President Trump is making America great again, when all actually he making America the worst they ever been. Let's admit it. Are you fighting for the right thing, or are you going to fight for the wrong thing? I mean, I want you to share this because this is right in your face. There is classified and secret things right up on our eyes under the Trump administration. You're dealing with money and power. Do you really think Trump is really going to try to make a way to get this thing? As long as that he done told Putin what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and we're going to sit up there and believe everything President Trump. He's a pathologic liar, people. If you ain't got God in your life, you done missed out. You cannot fall for an evil man to let him control your mind. Fox News has been controlled by President Trump. They tell the people what they want to hear, and knowing that his leader is a pathologic liar. They don't do nothing unless it's going to protect President Trump. That's why racism at its all-time high under the authority of this deranged administration. I hope that this make a difference. I want you to share it. We need to start this conversation and be real about it. And we got to show people that we care. We're showing equity. We're showing for dignity and for our community. I hope this make a difference. Housing discrimination at its all-time high. We can do something about it if we stick together and work together. It's not only blacks, it's affecting white peoples too. We cannot let a deranged administration, one man, control this country. But if you're allowing him, that's his main objective. He gonna use a form of fear. He gonna use voting legislation, anything to keep in power. But America, we supposed to be stupid and dumb. We supposed to not know nothing about it. But I think we smarter than that. Let's get him out of office and his deranged administration. And let's see, can we get some good Supreme Court people in there going to fight for America, not for one person. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege, for me to present this important subject that being overlooked. Most people say we want to clean up Washington, D.C. because get all the homeless off the street. Why Washington, D.C.? Everybody, President Trump, going to take over Washington, D.C. to cover his ass. Y'all must understand, the writing is on the wall. Project 2025 was written by President Trump and verified by President Trump. But according to him, during the time, I don't know nothing about it. His name all over it. Peoples, be aware of wolves that dressed up like sheep is there to devour you. Keep God in your mind. Keep God in your prayers. And everything going to be all right. I pray for your family, your relatives, children, and your friends. I pray for the world. I hope that we can come together. When we put God first, everything going to work out. It's been a pleasure, a privilege, and may God bless you and keep you. Until next time.